Hi there, Machedo. Sweeney from Machedo.com. Who's Machedo and Think Personal Branding? The date is 13th July 2018. Time right now is 3:58 in the morning. Okay, I was speaking to one of my students the other day, and she was kind of telling me about her fears. And she was asking me, Lawyer, how do I face my fears? And I responded by telling her, okay, you want to face your fears? There's only one way. She said, how? I said, just face your fears. She was like, okay, but how? I said, very simple, just face your fears. And she was like, okay, I get that, face your fears, but how? So I told her, how do you face your fears? Saying, I don't know. So then I gave her an example. When you, like for me here in Thailand, there are so many dogs and cats, and then there are snakes and all that. But dogs and cats are very common here in Thailand. And my wife, even though she's a villager, she's very scared of dogs, especially the dogs that come running and start barking and all that. So one day when me and my wife, we were walking, we just went for a walk, this dog out of a group of dogs, like 4, 5, 6 dogs, who just like, it's like a gang of dogs, okay? They saw me and my wife, and they all came running because maybe we were walking past their area where their house was. They all came running in groups, and immediately my wife, she got scared, and she came to me, she's saying, darling, darling, and she came running towards me, and the dogs looking at her run, they ran even faster. And I think there were like 6, 7 dogs. So as soon as they came around, I said, don't worry, just come at the back. She said, they will bite us. I said, relax, don't worry. And as the dogs are coming, I told her, stand in one place. Don't move, just stand. She stood. The dogs came running, and they really came close, and they were growling and all that. And what I did is I told her, stand on, don't move no matter what. And I moved ahead to the dogs, and I went showing larger than life, obviously expanded myself, and I stood and I went like this, and the dogs were like, yeah. So I just stood there like this, I just stood there. And the dogs were barking, and I didn't move. I just stood there. I just kept looking at them. And after some time, as I was, looking at the dog, I didn't run away. Looking at the dog and standing there and facing them and interacting with the dogs, like, you need experience, just don't try it. Because I've been doing it for many years. Yeah. The dogs eventually were like, oh, okay, this guy's not running away, this guy's not scared, okay. And then we stood there for quite some time because I wanted my wife to understand how it is. Eventually they got bored, and one by one, after they stood there, then they all walked away. They just went away. So then I told my wife, okay, now don't run, walk with me, just behind me. So she walked behind me, and then I told my wife, this is how you deal with the dog. This is how you deal. Because if you run away, the dog will chase you even more. If you're scared, the dog will sense it. But if you stand your ground and you look at the dog right in the eye, standing there, the dog is like, oh shit, okay, this guy's not afraid. This guy's not running away, so, now what? Obviously, you need to be careful. If it's a trained dog and a ferocious, like a pit bull or something, really ferocious one, then it'll rip your body to shreds. So it's not applicable with hardcore trained or untrained dogs. But in majority of the cases, stray dogs, when they come running, if you don't run, they'll not chase you. But if you run, they will chase you. So this is a perfect analogy for fear. If you run away from something, it's pretty odd, but it kind of chases you, I personify, give it like a feeling as if it's a real creature, but it follows you for years. Like, for example, me, when I was in my younger days, I was very afraid of losing my job. I was very afraid of being unemployed. And because I was afraid of being unemployed, I ended up doing things to please people, being who I was not, and kissing ass, and eventually I ended up losing my job. However, and every time I lose my job, I'd go in a bad state of depression. I was in a really bad state, and this continued for quite some time. Until until one point I was like, what the fuck is this, man? I need to fight it out. So then I started to, if I didn't like a job, I would quit. It was not like the job would make me, I would quit. And I kept doing that over and over again. Eventually I reached a point where, if you follow my videos, you see the video. I think I changed around 36 jobs or something, or 42, within 2 years, just one after another. And, I lost fear. It's like another example that I give you. Coming to this, so because I kept doing it over and over, it became a habit, and then I lost the fear of losing jobs, and then I became empowered. So if I'd run away from it, being scared always, I think I'd forever be the victim. Let me give you one more example just to highlight this point. If you see a snake, obviously you'd be scared. I would be scared. Anyone would be scared. But there are these kids who are born and raised in snake farms because their parents handle snakes every single day as they make a living out of handling snakes. They make an actual living out of handling snakes. So because they handle snakes every single day and the children see these children 8 or 9 years, they're just holding snakes and handling them as if it's like a pet, like a doll, just handling the snake. And I'm like, wow, aren't you fucking scared? But the reason why they're able to do it, because they deal with this every single day. So it becomes second nature. It's like you driving a phone or you using your smartphone. It becomes unconscious in nature. Remember this. The first time you got your phone, you had to look where the button was, what is the screen, where do you go next. But now when you use your phone, you use it blindly. You just tick, 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 just move your finger and you know where it is. You know how to type and, use the keyboard. But when you tried it the first time, you couldn't. The same thing with your fears. If you run away from your fears, it's going to bring you down. But if you decide, enough of this, I'm not going to be a victim, I'm going to face it, I'm going to fight it, and you do it intelligently, I'll tell you, your fear will no longer scare you. This can be the same in terms of abusive relationships, it can be the same with failure, it can be the same with heights, it can be with snakes, it can be with anything. If you have a bully, for example, you have a bully and you keep running away, he will keep chasing you down. But if you stand up and face to face, maybe you'll take a couple of beatings, maybe he will smash you. But if you face him and you're not ready to give up, I'll tell you, fuck, you'll be shocked to know that your fear will just diminish. One last example to give you. I remember this guy in my school days. His name was Zareen. His name was Zareen. But we guys used to tease this guy. He was really tall. Huh? He was taller than us. And but he had a very girlish, he had a very timid kind of demeanor. So we used to call him Zarina Bai. Zarina Bai means like lady, like madam. So Zarina Madam. So his name was Zareen. But we used to call him Zarina Bai, and he was always afraid of us. So we used to tease him. Even though I was smaller than him, I used to tease him. So then from Dubai, Sharjah, where I was staying in UAE, Sharjah Indian School, he moved away to India, to Bombay. And Bombay is, if you know, is a very tough, rough place. It really tests your mettle. So he went to India. And he came back to our school, I think, after 4 or 5 years or 6 years after being in India. And now when he came back, he was pretty built, pretty big, pretty tall. And obviously, we guys, because we used to tease him from before, so, we still thought he was a guy from the old days. So, the first day when he came, welcomed him, and we were playing football. I remember this very clearly. As we were playing football, immediately I told him, hey, Zarina Bai, how are you? Immediately, I'm not joking, immediately he said, fuck you, motherfucker, okay? I'll break your face if you call me that name. Call me by my name properly. And I was like, ooh, what the fuck just happened, Like, whoa. I said, why are you angry, man? He said, don't call me Zarina Bai. Call me by my name or I'll break your face. Like, okay, chill, relax. Just Zareen, sorry, Zareen. Before, he used to run away from us. But now he faced us. And he told me, you better call me by my name. And I was like, sorry, In fact, I remember this guy, his name is Abdul Majid. He was a small guy, really short guy. And everyone used to bully him. Until one day, out of the blue, this guy just took his fist and socked one guy on the face. I don't know what it was. After that, we're like, fuck, okay, even though he's small, he will give you on your face when required. So like, okay, sorry. In fact, one of the boys who I used to bully, I can't get his name. I think his name was, I can't get his name, man. Shams, some name he had. He was very thin, he was very skinny, and I used to always bully him because I knew I could get away from him. One day, I remember he just took his fist and socked me in the jaw. I felt my jaw go like this, you know. And I was still about to hit him, and other guys came in and they stopped. But because he gave me that hit, I was like, fuck, no way. So I'm not, listen, don't get me wrong. Please, this is school days. Don't use physical violence. But what I'm trying to tell you is, when you face your fear, okay, it runs away. So I'm not endorsing physical violence. I'm not saying go hit someone in the jaw and all that. Don't do that, because then they might bring their gangs in. But stand up for yourself. So if you're afraid of something, face it. Whether it's a divorce, whether it's a breakup, whether it's your job, whether it's money, whatever. Don't run away from it. It can be a disease. Face it. Because when you face it, you'll become stronger. If you run away from it, it will hunt you down. So this is, what I endorse, and this is what I believe. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Should you run away from fear, or how do you face your fear? How do you face your fear? Let me know in the comment section below. Always read your comments. Love to hear from you. Like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't like it, thumbs down. Bye from Machedo.com. And this is me signing off for now. Take care.